Hello, welcome to Death Metal Chef. My name's Jez, and today we're going to make garlic bread with cheese, old school fashion. So, to get started, we're going to make the pizza dough. So I'll start off with ingredients. First of all, 500 grams of strong bread flour. Yeah. We have 17.5 grams of fresh yeast. Now, if you've only got the powdered sachets one, that 7 gram sachet is the equivalent to 17.5 grams of fresh yeast. So that's your conversion. If you've got fresh, 17.5. If you're using dried, 1 sachet. In there, I have 25 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil. You can use normal veg oil, normal olive oil, whatever you want. You know, I've got all sorts, like garlic oil, rosemary oil, whatever you want, doesn't matter. We'll have salt and sugar, it'll be a teaspoon of each, and 250 ml of tap water. So you can, if you are fortunate and clever enough to have a KitchenAid, then make your dough in the KitchenAid with a dough hook and knead it in a machine. If not, you'll have to mix it by hand, get a bit of elbow grease in there. It's not the end of the world. You know, for years I didn't have a KitchenAid, did it all by hand, never caused me a problem. But I'm going to use the KitchenAid for ease because we're going to make this really quick, okay? So, get the bowl. In the mixing aid bowl goes the 500 grams of flour. From there, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put this in the KitchenAid and start it kneading, mixing the salt with the flour slowly while I combine the rest. Right, in the jug you want to mix with your oil, your yeast, and about a teaspoon of sugar. Just about roughly that much, accurate. Again, you know, this is, throw it together, it's not difficult. I'm going to get a whisk, I'm going to whisk the yeast and everything else in together. If you want it to dissolve, bothers me, it's a chef thing, lids. And from there we're going to go and add liquid to our flour to start forming our dough. So as you can see, jug, KitchenAid, kneading away, slowly adding a bit at a time as it starts to pull. Obviously if you're doing this by hand, you're going to add it a bit at a time, mix it with your hand, add a bit at a time, so on and so on. We'll come back to this when it's fully kneaded. Okay, as you can see, we are pretty much there. You want to get it to the point where it doesn't stick to the side. You should be able to lift all this out and there'll be nothing left in there. Yep, that's the consistency we're looking for. So, now we've got our pizza dough. As you can see, it's not sticky. I can make it very pliable, and that's kind of what we want. So what we're going to do now, we need to prove it in the oven like we do with the bread. You get a glass bowl. So, glass bowl, a little bit of oil in there, rub it around all of the sides. And we're going to put this in, do a little bit of a shaky. Oil all over that. So, cool. Then we're going to get some cling film. I'm going to oil the cling film. Rub it in while holding it in place. Cut a sheet off. Carefully lift up the sheet and cover the dough so that when the dough rises and presses against the top of the cling film, it won't stick. Right, so it's going to go in the oven to prove for anywhere between half an hour and 45 minutes, depending. Then we'll come back to it and we'll get things going. Cool? Okay, so dough is proved. We're about to get it out of the oven and have a good old squish. What you want to do prior to getting your pizza dough bread, garlic bread thing in the oven is you want to get whatever you're cooking it in to heat up, because I'm assuming that most of you don't have a stone bake pizza oven just lying around the house or in the garden. If you do, kudos to you. I would like one, but I haven't got one. So what I'm going to do is replicate the heat and the way it is in the oven. Put it in a stone bake oven and instantly the dough will sear and seal because it's flush with where the heat's coming from off the stone. You don't get that in your normal household ovens because they're household ovens, as we all know. That's why when you make pizza at home and then you cook it and then you always end up with the crust and everything's really cooked and underneath it's still white and anemic and you're not getting that circulation because it's not seared. So what you want to do is heat up your tray or whatever it is you're using so that when your dough goes on it sears and sizzles, and then you put your fingers in and then cook it and it all comes out like it should do. It's the closest way you're going to get to replicating a stone bake oven pizza. So this is what I normally use. This is a battered old frying pan that has seen better days and the handle snapped off, and I was about to throw it away and I'm like, oh, that'd be perfect for doing like deep pan pizzas and sourdough bread and all sorts of bits and bats in. And it's brilliant, you know, waste not, want not. Ow. So I'm going to stick this in the oven now. I get it hot and then we're going to take out our approved pizza dough. Wait for the angel noise. Hallelujah. Beautiful. So as you can see, that has risen perfectly nice and soft. So we're going to take it out and we're going to knead it and knock all the air out of it and then ball it up and get it ready to go in the oven as a pizza base. My favourite part. So squish this all down. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Now, normally I wouldn't use this much to make a pizza. This is a large amount to use. You could use all of this and it'll make you a really thick, like deep pan American style. Or if you want, you can use half this amount and it'll make you a really thin and crispy Neapolitan style pizza. Now, the reason my family, well, on my dad's side, is from Naples, or around that area. Casino, I think, is the kind of closest area. I'm sure I've got family members that will correct me if I'm wrong. So the Neapolitan pizza crust kind of is in my family's blood. So we're going to kind of go slightly thin, but the English in me likes a deep pan. Oh, chewy crush. Love it. Bread, you know, bread. Who doesn't love bread? Bread and bread-based products. So we're going to keep this little one aside. I have no idea what we're going to do with it. We need about 3/4 of the dough. We're going to squish it out. Now, I used to be a pizza chef many years ago and do the whole kind of flipping around and spinning around, but this isn't the time for it. If enough people request it, then we will do a pizza video where we'll show you all the technique for throwing it around and looking a twat. Because that's one thing I do really well, and I'm sure I can teach everybody else how to do it. Unless, of course, your name's Jim Mapplebeck, and then you are better than me at it. Twat. I'm going to do you a couscous video, mate. That's what I'm going to do for you. So, rolling pin for all you non-pizza chefs. Easy peasy. You'll find with this dough, it's not sticky. It's really pliable. It's easy to work with. You don't need to add extra flour to it. do all sorts, that kind of thing. So what we're going to do is, once that pan's a little bit hotter, I'm going to take it out, we're going to throw some oil in there, throw it on top, and then we're going to put all our stuff in it. So, garlic bread with cheese. So, some people have a bit of a debate whether you use garlic oil or garlic butter. Now, I personally use garlic oil because butter burns quickly, and I find that people won't make a proper garlic butter. Blitzing raw garlic and butter together does not make a garlic butter. Raw garlic is acrid. You know, if you want garlic to taste nice and you want it to be sweet and robust, then you want to roast it and you want to confit it, which is, I'm sure Rob's going to put in some little dings in order to say confit. This is what it is, and that's what it is. So confit your garlic, and it makes it sweet and aromatic and really, really flavoursome. And we're going to lather the dough in it and then cover it in cheese. Now, at the moment, I have got 2 cheeses that we're going to use, because why would you want to use one if you could use more? Because who doesn't like cheese? Nobody. Everybody loves cheese, apart from vegans, and even then they like cheese because they have that vegan cheese. So yeah, everyone loves cheese. So any cheese will do. Don't use the buffalo mozzarella. I personally want to save that for your pizzas. If you can get hold of pizza mozzarella, you can use that. If not, anything will do. We're using a mixture of coastal cheddar, which is a nice matured cheddar, and it gives a little bit of salty taste at the back of the jar. And I've also got some parmesan. Note, it is real parmesan, not Gran Padano, because I'm very lucky that my cheese supplier for my restaurant was also still delivering cheese to me after the lockdown. Cheers, Glenn. Birkby Cheeses. Check them out, man. Beautiful cheeses. Anyway, so we're going to use a combination of mature cheddar and parmesan cheese for a double cheese entendre. That tray should be just about hot enough by now, so let's get it out of the oven. Hot tray. Bit of oil. Take your pizza dough and in it goes. Sizzle, sizzle. Pull it in like that. And then let's lather this bad boy up. So, there isn't a right amount of cheese to use. Personal preference, you know. More is better in this case because more cheese is always better no matter what you're using it for. And then parmesan on top. Oh, you naughty little bug. If you want, you can put some herbs on there. If I thought ahead, I'd have chopped some parsley out of the garden, but I didn't. So now we're going to shove this in the oven. I've cranked the oven up to full because, again, if you're replicating a stone-baked pizza oven, then it's going to be a lot hotter than your oven goes, which is why your pizzas can be done in 7 minutes in a pizza restaurant. So we'll come back in 7 minutes time, we'll have a look at that, and we'll see where we're at, and yeah, we can all kind of like go, ooh, you little fuck. Okay, cool, shortly. There you go. So, there you have it. Garlic bread with cheese. Italian takeaway style, a la Death Metal Chef. I hope this has been a help. And I'll see you again soon.